Okay. Now, before actually going on to the installation part, there are few questions that comes up in the mind to everyone whichsoever joins the meetings, whichsoever joins the courses, and the frequently asked questions that comes up are very few, like what's the tenure, how much time is required to learn Selenium, like that. A few questions are there. I'll take 5 minutes to cover that. Might be some of you also are having those questions, so that we'll cover first and then we'll go on with the part. Okay, so the first question, as I said, that the tenure is the question, that how much time is going to be taken to learn Selenium. So it would be a possibility that you are learning Selenium just for the sake of knowledge. You just want to know what this tool is, how it works, what are the commands and all that. So if you're learning it for the knowledge purpose, then 3 weeks are more than enough to learn about, to know about the commands and to learn about what actually the whole process is, how it works, what the basic commands are. So 3 weeks are sufficient. But if you want to learn it to get a job into this profile and stand in front of a person who has an experience of 2 or more years, then minimum 8 to 10 weeks are required to understand it, and the rest is the whole dedication of your work, that how you work and practice on the commands and you get your hand on that. That's very important. So I'll request you that whatever you cover, whatever we cover in the session, don't practice it simultaneously, that you are hearing it with me and you are practicing on the system. Don't do that, because you might miss some things which I'm saying and which I'm doing. So it's preferably just listen to that first and later on practice it on your systems, so that you can yourself also see that how it actually goes on, what you learn, what you heard is going right or not in your case. Right, so please, I'll request you that not to practice simultaneously. The second question is that what all is covered in this course. So in this course, firstly, the Selenium part is mostly covered. Right. Python is a programming language which can be easily learned. For Selenium, for Python learning, that what Python is, how we can work with Python, the basic Python functionality, that we are going to take simultaneously along with Selenium. I'm not going to take specific Python sessions. Just we are going to work with Selenium. Along with that, wherever required, there are some concepts of Python required that we'll discuss, but not the whole concept. If you want to get it learned, you want to know about Python, you are absolutely new to the uh, programming field, so you can simply go over to the website seleniumtraining.com, and over here log into your account, and in here the first 10 to 11 modules are just for Python information, that what are the variables that are supported in Python, what are the data types, decision making statements, data structures, what is object oriented programming, inheritance. Likewise, 10 to 11 modules in the starting are just for Python. So if you are new, just go through these videos first, right, and then work with the Selenium part. Okay, and what is actually covered in Selenium? It's Selenium itself. Now Selenium is actually a big term, that how you interact with the browsers, interaction with the browser, with elements, working with the grid, working with the Jenkins, all that will be covered in here, along with a project. There are 3 projects which are covered so far. Project or framework, they are end-to-end projects. We call framework in a word, in a technical word, but otherwise it is an end-to-end project which combines all the information of your programming language along with Selenium. That is what the combination of framework will be. And there are 3 right now currently covered: hybrid, data driven, and page object model. These three are covered. Any of these three, whichever you'll say at the end, that will be covered, and we'll implement Grid, Jenkins, all that on our project as well. Okay. Except for this, if any of the questions arises in your mind, in any of you, you can tell me right now so that we can cover that as well, and then we'll move further. Any general question or thing you want to ask, you can.
Hi, hi Jaspreet. My name is Nandan Kumar. I have one question. We are just started with the session.
Hmm.
So, but at the end, do you teach us something like related to robot framework or something else? Because I saw all the content, the data-driven, hybrid, and keyword-driven is already covered. So, do we get
Hmm.
any knowledge along with the robotic framework or just?
Currently, there are three frameworks which are covered, but we are working on the robot framework as well. Once that is covered by us, then we'll be surely putting it into the modules. From there, you can take the knowledge. But currently in the course, that won't be covered.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yes.
And also, can you explain about little bit about Python, how important it is, and how about the job market related, whatever you have some research, correct? So, is it completely useful for us? Like Selenium with Java is already leading in the market, right? So now Python also, I know some little bit about Python because some market for Python with the Selenium jobs are there. So
Mhm.
how important it is like Python with the Selenium?
Yes, surely Nandan, we will be covering that once we go to the installation part. At that
Okay.
time, I'll cover that. Okay, that why
Okay.
is it important? What are the specific features that Python provides over Java, and what's the market thing? We'll cover that. Okay, in some time.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? Okay. I believe no another questions are from there. So we'll move further to the installation section now. See, now when we have to work with Selenium with Python, there are few specific things that we require to start with first. First of all, three parameters are required. First is the programming language itself. In our case, the programming language is Python. Now, why is Python being used over here? What the benefit of Python is over Java? See, Java is a programming language, but it is a complex language in its own terms, right? While over if we compare the same language with Python, so it is quite easy to use. If I talk about some things like, let's say, printing a statement. For Java, we have a full statement of system.out.println followed by a pair of parentheses and ending with a semicolon. Right? A full proper syntax. And when I say about Python, Python has a short, simple syntax without caring about the ending part that we have to put semicolon, otherwise, I won't get my statement running. It will be simple print followed by a pair of parentheses. That is the only command that you use into the printing part. Likewise, if you compare it with others as well, Python is easy to use and easy to understand. It's not complex in commands, it's simple. Secondly, the benefit over it is that right now Java is established in markets, everyone know that how Java works, and there are many things which are currently working with Java and many people work with it. Python is a growing language which is growing by time. Anyone who wants to work with faster language, faster interpreting languages, Python is something which you can use. Right. Once you get to know about it for further what the data structures are, how they are compatible, what strings are, how strings behave in Python. All that is very easy to understand and work with. It's just that it's common that don't use the predefined keywords or libraries into your normal functions. Like if I have a file named date time, I'm working with the date time module and I want to print the current time, I want to edit it, or I want to do many of the things with the date times thing, right? So it's just that in Python predefined languages, date time is already defined. There is already a file named date time. So if you are working with your own custom file, don't name it date time. Otherwise, what Python does is it starts looking for the commands in your custom file instead of the predefined file. That's the only thing that you need to be careful about while working with Python, because in hurry we do name the files such which is easy to remember, but this is something that you need to remember, right? For rest of the things that how actually we work with and how actually the commands goes on, I'll request you guys to do watch the initial 10 to 11 parts of the course, which are just for the Python thing, that how is exception handled, how inheritance work in Python, which of the inheritance is supported by Python. All those is covered in detail so that you can easily get to know and practice along. Okay, talking about the version, that which of the version of Python is much supported and which is current one. So for that it's very simple, just go to the official website. You need not to remember the official website by link, just go to download Python on your favorite browser, that's search for it. The very first link you will get will be the official website, that is python.org. If you'll click on it, the recent version which has been launched by the Python providers, that will be displayed on the front itself. It is supported on all the operating systems mentioned below: Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, and if you have any another, you can choose out of that. Right. This will be the current version. Many the times people say that current version is not that stable, so we prefer working with the one version older. Like right now it's 3.9.2. Many people would like to work with 3.9.1. So that's completely fine. Even if you work with Python 3.8, the commands are just the same. They have not made much big difference into the versions. 3.7 till 3.9, all the versions are all of the same, just with minor changes. So you can get any of it. Recent also, you'll click on this and it will be downloading into your system. By downloading, it will give you an executable file. An executable file will be provided to you, so it will be easy to install as well. If you want to get the older version, so you can go according to your operating systems, and if you'll click on that, it will give you all the releases, that which of the versions have been releases, and you can get from here. It is the stable version, stable current version, this is the older version, and these are the rest. So you just need to look for your system configuration, that which of the configuration supports your system, and get it downloaded. An executable file will be given to you. To install it, you just need to run that executable file. Just make sure you do one thing. What thing you need to be careful about is while installing Python, I'll show you. Over here, when you run the executable file, you will get something like this over on your screen. This kind of screen you will be getting initially. One is the install now option, which will take the default location where your Python will be installed. Otherwise, if you want to change the location, you can go to the customize installation part and choose your location by your own. The second thing which is important, this checkbox which is highlighted, you can see on the screen, add Python version to path. Now this is important. You have to check this checkbox so that once the Python is installed at the location of your choice or at the default, in the environment variables of your system, this Python will be automatically added. You don't have to go yourself to the environment variables and add it there. So it's important while you will be start working with the Selenium part. At that time you will require interpreter which is going to look for the code errors, right? So at that time you don't have to go into the environment variables and select it from there. It will automatically be picked up. Okay, so this is the one thing that you need to be careful about while installing Python. Just check this checkbox and click on next, next, next. Once it will be done, you will get a prompt like the setup was successful. Just to be reassured that whether your Python has been installed or not, it is working fine in your system or not. So what you can do is you can just go over to your command prompt, and over here you can just give the command Python. Just by giving this command, you will be shifted to the prompt which is the Python prompt now. If you want to do some programming in Python, you can just give some commands over here to look for, like if I say print, so it has printed hey for me. That's the command we use to print our outputs, right? So right now my Python is working fine. The same way you can also check in your systems that this version you have downloaded, is it working fine in your system or not? This way, right? We are not going to code anything over here. This is just for reassuring that Python is working fine. Once you have done with this, you can come out of the Python prompt and done. Right. Now coming to the second important configuration that is required after programming language. We have our programming language. Now the second thing is where to code, which particular IDE, integrated development environment, we are going to use. That is what we are required now. So the famous one which is just made for working with Python programming language, that is PyCharm. PyCharm is very famous to work with Python. Now it comes in two variants. Either you get the free version or either you get the paid version. Up to your requirement it is, right? So if I look for how from where to download this PyCharm ID, so if I'll go to the browser, I'll look for download PyCharm. The official link is jetbrains.com, which provides the PyCharm IDE. So if I'll click on it, it's on the home page. These are the two versions of PyCharm that you get. One is the paid version and one is the free version. This professional one is a paid version. Along with Python support, it gives you supports like database, SQL support it provides you HTML and JavaScript support as well. So if you want to work with all those extra features, you can look for the trial period and you can look for if it satisfied your needs. Otherwise, if you want to work only with Python, then the free version is completely fine. You can click on download and get your IDE in your system. Both will give you an executable file, nothing much. Executable files are easy to install. So once you download it, the executable file will be given to you. You have to click on next, and your PyCharm will be installed into your system. We are also going to work on PyCharm only. So I already have PyCharm in my system over here. This is 20.2 version. If you download it, you might get 20.3, the recent one. So this is the welcome screen. of PyCharm, and you will get a screen like this. Once you have installed PyCharm in your system, these three options you are going to get. Now this is a freshly installed PyCharm, so you won't get any projects to open. You have to create one project. So we'll create one project, new project, and over here you have to provide the name, whatever name you want to give. Let's say I want to give name as this. Right, I've given the name. Now over here for the Python interpreter, it has automatically taken my location of the Python where it has been installed. It has automatically picked it up. I have not given it. The same way, if you have checked the checkbox while installing Python, it will automatically be coming up over here. Otherwise, if you'll click on the drop down, it will be displayed over here. If you haven't checked the checkbox, you have to manually look for the location and you have to enter it here. Okay, once it will be done, just click on create and it will open up the workspace for you. It will set up some things in the background. It will take around 5 to 10 seconds. All the libraries are being configured, so it may take time as it has. So done. Right, it will open up. So a simple configuration has been done. You just have to give the interpreter and done. On the left hand side, this is your project explorer. Whatsoever project you have made, whichever packages or files you have made, they are going to be displayed over here only. This area at this right hand side, this is a workspace. Here you are going to do your coding, whatever you want to do, and below you have the Python console where the output is going to be displayed. Whatever you use, that is going to be displayed over here. Right, now over here, if I just make a package and a file for Python, so I'll just will go on to new Python package, Python file. There is something over here. There is a file as well. There is a Python file as well. Whenever you are going to use Python code in your project, you're going to make the Python file, not the file. This file can be anything. You just have to give the extension. You can either give you can make it a text file, you can make it an HTML file. Likewise, you can make any file using this file option. Okay, so don't use this option. Just go for Python file. I'll make Python package first. And inside this, I'll make Python file. Let's say in here I'm just going to take one print statement which I'm going to print. We have seen the syntax of print, how it actually works. So I'll say first Python file. Okay, now this will be my simple enough which I'm going to run. To run this, you will get you can run it from anywhere. Either you can run it from Project Explorer. You will get the option to run along with the name of the file which you want to run. So it will be displayed like this on the console. Either You can click on the workspace, right click on the workspace and click on the same option, run, the name of the file. Okay, now over here in PyCharm what actually happens is, for every file which you are going to run, a different run setup has been configured for every file. If you have 200 files, there will be 200 run setups which are going to be made automatically, which are different setups for different files, separated. There is no combination or no confusion. Like over here you can see at the right hand side, my file name is being displayed. This is the configuration for my Python demo file. If I open this particular configuration, I'll go to this edit configurations, and over here it gives me the information that for this particular file this configuration is made. This is the interpreter which is being used. This one. Inside it has been updated. This one. And likewise the information is given. If I make another file, let's say if I make file 2. So for file 2 there will be a different configuration. Another print statement I'm going to use. File 2. Now if I want to run this file 2, I'll again use the option file, I'll say run, and a configuration will be automatically made. You don't have to make it manually. It will be automatically made once you first time click on the run option. If you are running it another time, then you can simply choose it from the list over here. A full list will be given. If you'll go over here in the edit configurations, a whole list will be coming up over here as many as configurations are made. Okay, so this is something which is important. There is no way that you can run one configuration for all files. That's not possible. Different configurations are going to be made. Okay, now here is my thing that on which I'm going to work, my place of code, right? Now next important thing is Selenium itself. I have to install Selenium as well in my system to work with. So from where I will be getting this Selenium? So for that there is a one place solution for every question, one place solution, and that website is selenium.dev. This is the official website from where you can get all the information, right? What Selenium is, what it does. The major thing is that Selenium automates browsers, any browser. Now you can think of any browsers: Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Internet Explorer, Opera, Safari, and all can be automated using Selenium. To get it into your system, go to the downloads link over here. Now you will get a number of options over here. To get Selenium into your system which supports Python, there is a tabular form which has been given over here, along with the information that which of the stable version of Selenium works with which programming language. For Java it's 3.141.59. For Python it's 3.141.0. Likewise for C#, JavaScript and Ruby is also given. So we'll go on, and I'll go to this download, and I'm being routed to some another web page which gives you a command to install Selenium in your system. That command is pip install Selenium. Now you must be wondering that what this pip is. So this pip is basically a package manager. Using this pip you can install external packages, you can uninstall external packages, or you can upgrade or update the packages which are existing. All the things you can do using the pip, or basically from from where this pip is going to be installed. So for that you don't have to worry. If you are working with Python 3 version or above, then this pip is already available into your system. In the Python package, this pip is already there. So you don't have to go and download it from anywhere. Just download Python and after that give the command to install Selenium into your system, to get system Python in your system, where you have to run this command on your command prompt. So we already have a command prompt open with us, and we'll give the command pip install Selenium. In my case, this is already in my system. The stable version is in my system, so it's giving me requirement already satisfied. If you're doing it for the first time, you will get the whole configuration done and it will inform you that the package has been installed successfully. Okay, now this is done. Selenium package is available in my system at this time, but right now it is not available in my project. In the project I have to import it so that I can use it. This is for all the external packages that the project is totally specific on what external files you are going to have in your system. So to add the Selenium into your project, you have to go to File, Settings, and over here you will get number of options. Where you have to go is the name of your project, and the name of it, and then go to Python interpreter. This kind of list is going to come up. These two files are those files which are already there in your project. We are working with Python and pip is a part of Python itself. It's in the package. So that's already available in here in my project. If I have to add more, I'll go to this plus. I'll look for that particular package which I want to install. I want to go for Selenium. So here it comes. I'll click on install package. Once it's done, it will give you a information package Selenium installed successfully. I'll close this. Here I got that particular package also. So I'll click on OK and done. Now if I make one more Python file and I'll say let's say here I am repeating it itself. Don't name your files which you are making same as the existing Python files. In hurry people do this, that for the basics they name the file as Selenium itself. Don't do that because it will start looking the code in your own custom file which is not available. Okay, now right now I'm not going to automate some browser, I'm not going to open any browser. I'm just going to look for simple things like what is the version of my Selenium that has been installed into my system. So I'll say print Selenium. I have to import it in my file, so I'll say import Selenium dot version. I want to look for the version, so I'll save this. A different file means a different configuration, so I'll run this, and this is the stable version of my Selenium that has been open over here, that has been installed into my system like this. If you do the same thing in another IDE, you import Selenium and you want to look for the basic details, you might get another options, like you get the options of file path, that where actually your Selenium has been installed, or what's the name of your file which has been given. Likewise, more options you can get, but generally one option comes up, that is the version itself. Okay, this way our three important requirements have been into my system, and my IDE is ready to work with Selenium and Python both. Okay, any questions or doubts? If you have any, you can tell me now. No questions? All clear? All setup is clear? Okay. So if all setup is clear and you guys don't have any another questions, so this is what is to be supposed to be done in the very first class. In the next class, we are going to work with some of the Python basics, and along with that, we'll take a look at the Selenium commands as well along with that. Okay, so I'll request you guys to set up your system ready so that you can see what we are doing and you can practice it later on as well. Okay?
Sure, thank you.
You're welcome. So I'll see you tomorrow in the next session. Till the time, thank you. Bye bye.